And they had people, making sacrifices to the river gods. They had people sacrificing to the Buddhas, and they're giving up their food and their grain, and they're further impacting their ability to live. And what the missionaries did at this time was Dr. Macklin and 4 other Chinese doctors that he had worked with to train in dealing with these kinds of diseases administered over 30,000 doses of quinine in the next year to help stem the spread of this disease. And they said that the medication was so effective that people who had previously been on the brink of death and already in their funeral clothes, a couple days later were back in the field. And it was just such an incredible thing that the missionaries were there to make that impact. And that really helped spread word of the hospital to people in that area, to help them realize the power of the medicine there. And that opened a lot of different doors. And so the big thing I talk about in terms of the hospital is that we have these small plants, and we say we're going to build a clinic, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that. But when we start to open ourselves up to these bigger possibilities, when we let God take control of our projects, the opportunities are limitless. And so now we have a hospital in Nanking that's trained hundreds of thousands of doctors for China. That's on the leading edge of technology and research in China. It's one of the top 10 hospitals, or maybe not top 10, but top 20 hospitals in all of China. Definitely the best in Nanking. It's sustained relationships with the Disciples Church for over 120 years, and now treats 2 million patients a year. In December, when they open the new wing, they'll treat over 3 million patients a year. So, we went and we built, 120 years ago, we built like a 10-room clinic. Now it's this gigantic complex that takes up acres, and they have several partner hospitals that they work with, and several of the other clinics and institutes that Disciples Missionaries set up in those early days, because the open door that was a result of this hospital. We still have a large presence in Nanking, even though people might not always realize who it was that started that. With the hospital, they do hundreds of millions of dollars of business every year. They're quite self-sufficient at this point.
So they're completely staffed by
Chinese doctors.
By Chinese doctors.
But most of those Chinese doctors come out of Nanking University, which was a university that we helped found 100 years ago. They just celebrated their 100th anniversary, and in December the hospital will be celebrating 120 years.
Did they ask for you? Because usually Global Ministries personnel only go where somebody says we want you. So did they ask?
They asked. They recognized a need they had was helping doctors improve their English so that they could study overseas. There's a requirement by the provincial government that for a doctor to receive a scholarship for overseas study, they have to have a certain proficiency of English. And one of the challenges is that all of the younger doctors have wonderful English because they've benefited from advanced English teaching from years of having Amity teachers in Nanjing and things like this. But the older doctors who have the skills and would really benefit most from this overseas study have the worst English. And so trying to bring their English level up so that they have both the English and the skills.
Whenever they begin, could be in 3rd grade up to me, they are almost never asked to speak English. Reading and writing is the thing, because the exams are reading and writing. So that's what they focus on. And so a lot of them do have, even the students that could only say good morning, they have the vocabulary in their head. They just need a way to figure out how to get it so that they can say it. And they have very low self-esteem about their English.